Something strange is happening in Texas. Blackouts in summer, border showdowns that look like war zones, billionaires buying up small towns, UFO sightings, secession talk, a new state-funded militia, and laws that are shaking the rest of the country. Is Texas just being Texas? Or is something much bigger going on here? Something brewing beneath the surface that the rest of us haven't fully caught on to? This isn't just about politics, power grids, or cowboy culture. It might be the beginning of a dramatic shift in the future of America. Welcome back to Maps Explained, where we decode the hidden forces shaping America. Today we're diving deep into one of the most iconic, powerful, and controversial states in the Union, Texas. But this isn't just a video about cowboys and oil. This is about why Texas suddenly seems to be at the center of every national conversation. Energy, immigration, AI, even independence. By the end of this video, you'll understand what's really happening in Texas and why it matters far beyond the Lone Star State. So grab your hat, and maybe your tinfoil one too, because the truth is big and it's getting weirder by the day. Borderline chaos, the immigration flashpoint. Let's start with the most visible tension, the US-Mexico border. In 2021, Texas Governor Greg Abbott launched Operation Lone Star, a state-run border enforcement campaign that has escalated far beyond its original scope. Armed with razor wire, floating barriers, and even state-funded drones, Texas essentially began treating the southern border as if it were its own sovereign frontier. And here's where things get wild. In January 2024, the Biden administration ordered Texas to remove the wire at Eagle Pass. Abbott refused. Then, 15 Republican governors publicly backed Texas against the federal government. Some even called it a constitutional crisis. Is Texas pushing toward de facto independence? Some experts think yes. The Texas migration surge. Over the last 5 years, Texas has become one of the fastest-growing states in the U.S., thanks to a massive influx of people fleeing high-cost states like California, New York, and Illinois. Between 2020 and 2023 alone, over 1.5 million new residents moved to Texas. Cities like Austin, Dallas, and San Antonio have seen population booms, with Austin gaining over 100 new residents per day at its peak.
New estimates show that the state's population passed 31 million people within the last year.
What's driving this migration? Lower taxes, cheaper housing, fewer regulations, and a growing tech scene are big draws. But there's also a deeper cultural appeal. Texas projects a kind of freedom-oriented ethos that resonates with people feeling frustrated by the policies and pressures of other states. Some call it a land of opportunity. Others say it's becoming America's pressure valve. Energy grid mayhem and independence talk. Next, the infamous Texas power grid. Back in February 2021, a deadly winter storm caused the Texas power grid, managed by ERCOT, to completely collapse, leaving over 4.5 million homes and businesses without power. Hundreds perished. Why? Because Texas runs its own electric grid, separate from the national system. After the disaster, most states would have reintegrated or asked for federal help, but Texas doubled down. In fact, some lawmakers suggested that ERCOT's independence is a point of pride, even if it risks reliability. The deeper issue, this energy independence fits into a bigger narrative. Many Texans and politicians see their state as a kind of quasi-nation. There's even a growing movement pushing for Texit, a Texas secession from the US. And no, it's not just online memes. In 2023, a bill to vote on secession was actually filed in the Texas House. Billionaires are buying Texas. Here's where things take a more conspiratorial turn. It's not just regular people moving into Texas. Billionaires are moving in as well. Elon Musk moved Tesla's headquarters to Austin. He's also building a private town called Snailbrook to house employees near his boring company sites. In 2021, a mysterious Chinese billionaire named Sun Guangxin bought over 130,000 acres of Texas farmland near a U.S. Air Force base. Lawmakers were so alarmed that they passed the Lone Star Infrastructure Protection Act to stop future foreign land grabs. Why is so much elite money pouring into Texas? Some believe it's about land, others say it's about self-sufficiency, and a few whisper it's about building techno-compounds for the ultra-wealthy in case of civil collapse. The rise of Texas as a cultural battleground. Texas isn't just in the news for politics and power. It's become a cultural flashpoint. From book bans to curriculum overhauls, Texas is remaking education. In 2022, the state banned over 800 books, more than any other state. Over half of the books explicitly address identity and orientation topics. New laws restrict what teachers can say about historical inequality, social roles, and U.S. history. On the medical front, Texas enacted one of the strictest reproductive health care laws in the country, effectively banning most procedures after 6 weeks, and allowing private citizens to sue anyone involved in aiding a restricted medical procedure after that point.
1,000 protesters gathered on Capitol grounds to rally against Senate Bill 8, also known as the Heartbeat Bill.
And in 2024, Texas became the first state to defund diversity, equity, and inclusion (DEI) programs in public universities. To supporters, Texas is reclaiming tradition. To critics, it's a dangerous experiment. Either way, the country is watching, and many red states are already following Texas's lead. Strange skies and surveillance. Let's shift gears, because there's something a little unexplainable happening too. Texas has had an unusually high number of UFO sightings, with 156 reported in 2023 alone. In March 2023, pilots from 2 separate commercial flights reported a metallic orb hovering at 40,000 feet over Amarillo. The Pentagon's new All-Domain Anomaly Resolution Office, AARO, even flagged Texas as a recurrent zone of interest. On the ground, there's been a surge in private surveillance infrastructure, from AI facial recognition to license plate scanners, especially along the border and in major cities. Many Texans fear a slow shift towards surveillance authoritarianism, which would mean the erosion of privacy rights and a police surveillance state. Others think it's just the beginning of a tech-fueled smart state, run by algorithms, drones, and billionaire funding. In the smart state scenario, Texas could evolve into a living lab for futuristic governance. Automated traffic control, predictive policing powered by AI, digital IDs tied to blockchain-based services, and facial recognition-powered border monitoring. Combine that with drone surveillance and biometric access systems in cities like Austin and Dallas, and you start to see what a smart state could look like. Proponents say it's about streamlining governance and eliminating inefficiencies, creating a high-tech, hyper-efficient state with its own rules, systems, and even currencies in the near future. But critics worry this could turn into a techno-dystopia and the end of privacy, freedom, and being a true American. Is Texas preparing for something? Here's the big question. Is all of this just coincidence? Or is Texas preparing for something? Think about it. A state-controlled border militia, an independent power grid, billionaires buying land, cutting-edge surveillance, cultural laws reshaping the public mind. Some believe Texas is laying the groundwork to go fully autonomous, a test bed for a new kind of statehood, one that could survive economic collapse, federal breakdown, or even separate entirely. Sound crazy? Maybe. But so did the idea of Brexit, until it happened. And as one Texas state rep said in 2023, "We were a republic before we were a state. We can be one again." To truly go autonomous, Texas would need to double down on key systems: energy, water, supply chains, healthcare, and law enforcement. It's already developing a parallel legal framework in some areas, such as border enforcement and reproductive healthcare laws. Add to that its independent grid, expanding state guard, and new legislative attempts to block federal agencies, and you've got the foundation of a self-governing entity. If the federal government ever weakens, politically, financially, or socially, Texas is positioning itself to weather the storm. Not just survive it, but possibly emerge as a new kind of nation altogether. So, what is going on in Texas? It's a convergence, a storm of politics, power, wealth, identity, and something deeper. Maybe Texas is just a reflection of America's growing tension. Or maybe it's the prototype of what comes next. Watch it closely, because if Texas really is preparing for the next chapter of American history, the rest of us might want to pay attention. And who knows, the future of the United States might start in Texas. If you found this video eye-opening, click the like button. It really helps the channel to find more curious and interested people. Subscribe for more explorations of the places and events you didn't know the deep, dark truth about. And drop a comment below. Where do you think Texas is headed? Until next time, stay curious and keep questioning the world around you. See you in the next adventure.